I'm on vacation. In my world, that means auto repair. 2013 Nissan Rogue. Jugs of CVT. You know what that means. Yeah. So it got hot and our transmission overheated. Put it into limp mode. Did some reading. Apparently all you folk that live in hot climates already know this, but I live in Eastern Canada with snow and salt and wind and rain, about 21 days of heat. I didn't know that this could happen, but here's what we're doing. Got this part right here, transmission cooler, but with two added in and an out. I don't know which one's which. We'll see if it matters. There's the stock one right down in there. We're gonna pull that off. It doesn't have the two extra in and out. It just goes from here, one of these to the water pump and one to the thermostat. I don't know which one's which, doesn't matter to me. But it never goes through the radiator, so this will let me duplicate that and take it through an external cooler, which I'm going to mount right about there-ish. These are as much a heater as they are a cooler, like if it's cold, so that things get warm fast. Anyway, the CVT on this has been acting funky. I've flushed and drained and changed and filtered and all the things. Came by it really, really inexpensive. So I want to try it just to see if we can extend the life a little bit. Why not? Didn't take any video. Teardown, because I figured if you're going to try this, you probably can figure it out. I had some stuff apart for another project I was working on, so this wheel, don't need to take any of that off. The bumper, you probably could do it without taking the bumper off, but it's going to be sweet to not have it in the way. This wheel you will need off. I'll show you why. And the battery in the battery case, and I had to take off part of the air intake. You probably can figure that out. You need to be able to access that thing right there. And one of the bolts for that thing is accessible right in there, right up in here. So you're gonna need to be able to get around that wheel. You could go through this panel right here, but I already had the bumper. The plan, as it sits right now, is to pop this hose and this hose and connect them to this as soon as possible so as to not lose very much fluid, because I don't want to do a complete radiator flush. So we're going to take these bolts out. I've drained the CVD fluid. Make sure you measure what comes out and leave that there, so if you drop tools it can land in that. That would be super convenient. We're going to take this off. We're going to get it loose. We're going to get it out here somewhere. We're going to pop these clamps, put them directly back on there. I don't know if that's going to work or not, but hopefully that will reduce loss. I'm going to take the hose that came with my other setup, put it on here just in a loop to try to not lose fluid for now. Okay, we got it freed up right there. Now, if anybody tells you there's no secondary filter for the transmission, not true. It is inside this oil cooler right here. I was told there wasn't one, and they were wrong. Yep. Fortunately, I have a great local parts store. They were able to get me one. Here it is right here. That's the part number. You're not gonna be able to read that. They were able to get me one. This is the part number from their store, if that helps you at all. If it doesn't, well, I wish you the best. Now notice the new one has a rubber seal. The old one does not. That's because it's gonna get stuck, definitely, right down in there. You gotta get it out so you can put the new one in. A little pick tool will do that. Take your new filter down in here, get your hands in just the right spot, hold your mouth just the right way, and feel around and on it goes, and it should just press on. There we go. I reached down in there, disconnected the top hose. I got it stuck in here. And my new part came with these handy caps, and so I stuck one on there because coolant's gonna start coming out, and we don't wanna lose very much because I'm cheap. And I wanna properly recycle it and all. Speaking of recycling, when you pop this off, you're gonna get a bunch of transmission fluid, probably on things, which means when things get warm later, I'm gonna smell it. I need to remember that, so don't panic. But I'm gonna try to clean as much of it off as I can. I got some engine degreaser stuff for later. Put the old hose on the new port, on the new part. I've got this hooked on in a loop so it can't just drain out of there while I'm working. We'll deal with that later. You are gonna wanna get that on first, because if you haven't noticed, it is tight down in there to try to get these fittings on. Anyway, much battling, you can't see it, but the clamps are in place. This is still on there in a loop. What I did, there's my old part. Because again, it's gonna siphon stuff, is I hooked the top one on up here, weaseled it down in there, put the clamp over the bottom one here. Well, with one hand, while the thumb of the other hand was plugging that so it didn't, you know, recycle too much juice. Pop the hose on and then fussed with the clamp. And fussed indeed, but if you've got a couple sets of these, they'll come in handy. Of course, in all your savings by doing this yourself, don't forget to factor in the things you're gonna break, which in my case would be this ground strap right here. It goes from here to a nice little bolt right down there. You can see my finger hitting it. And I broke it off. So, because no project in my world is ever done all at once, I'm about to abandon this project anyway, take my son to baseball practice where there's a parts store. So I'm gonna, you know, grab one of those. Back on a different day, because who gets to work on projects all at once? Here's where we're at. The old cooler has been taken out, new cooler put in. The hose is still looped, as previously discussed. All 4 bolts are in and tight. Seal is, I'm pretty sure, in. Comes with a new rubber seal. Looks like this. This is the old one. And in the old one, it kind of stays in, but the seal's big, not compressed. So getting it in is more a matter of feel than it is eyesight. So it feels good. I will tell you that top bolt in the back, put on your, I feel like being patient. Or you might learn or invent some new words. Anyway, it's all in. These things here come with the kit for the new cooler. I removed these on the radiator. These pieces, you might recall, combined with these pieces, they pop right off. Made a space, jammed my arm down in where no one's arm should be, and fed those through so that I can now take the new cooler and install it right in there. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna plumb it in on that hose that you see underneath. There is the transmission fluid we've dropped. I'm gonna put the same amount back in and then check it. We'll top the coolant off. We'll put all this mess back together. No problem. You can probably do it. I probably can't. We'll find out. The other clip, you would have seen little black foam things. You can see them in there. Yep, those are spacers so we don't get like parasitic heat. Also, I am putting my inlets down. Now, I don't actually know if that's right. You can comment. If it's wrong, I'm sure you will, and I won't mind. But the theory is, if it pours in the top and cascades down like a waterfall, I could end up with air. If I force it to travel up, hopefully it will push all the air out, and we don't want air in the cooling system, which is the bane of my existence when trying to work on cooling systems. So we'll see if this works. We'll put the fasteners on. In other news, here's my broken door and Duke. Everybody has a garage duck, right? Hey, Duke. Any friends with you? Yeah, you do. Look, there's one of your friends over there in the flower garden. I figured you weren't alone. You have garage ducks too, right? No? Okay, keep them out of the transmission fluid. It's hard on them. I don't give advice because I'm clearly not qualified. If you watch any of my videos, you'll know that in a heartbeat. But if I offered anything in the framework of, I wish I'd done this different, I would attach these before cinching these in. So you have room to work down here to get the hoses on, instead of having to resort to vice grips the way I did. But we're in. Okay, then we got out my best friend, the zip tie. Zip tied those so they weren't rubbing on anything metal. Hopefully that'll be good. Gonna put my drain plug back in, fill up my CVT fluid through this impossibly small hole. Button the battery box back up, put the battery back in, and then it's just bumpers and inner fenders, and it's everything's fine. We took out just a hair under 5 quarts. So we're gonna put in exactly 5 quarts to make up for what I inevitably recycled back into the earth when taking the cooler off. My empty's over there, so when I worry about what I put in, I know exactly. There's the color of the old stuff. You saw the new stuff, you can see the garage ducks are back. Come on, back to the pond. There's nothing in the garage that's any good for you. Go on, go on. You got a half-acre pond down there. Get out of here. Get. Go on. Go join your friends. There's 26 of them. Go find them. Got the battery rest back in. We'll put these, I took all these out so that I could free it up. Could I have done it without taking that apart? Well, you tell me. It was easier. I also discovered a ground strap that was very, very close to broken. So instead of having to fix that sometime on the side of the road, we fixed that while we were in there too. It's a good day. Great day even. I think I got all that. There wasn't one there. There we go. Yep, sure. And I got to put the radiator back. Right down there you can see a little rubber mount that it sits in. Same thing over here. I'm going to pick it up, set it down in there, and then do the top up. The easiest radiator mount I've ever seen. I do a lot of cursing of Nissan engineers, but I appreciate this one, fellas. It's even labeled up. It's easier to put the rubber on it, then put it on, then click it in. Radiator's back in. For my own benefit, both those new hose clamps are done up. Both the old hose clamps are done up. Both these new hose clamps are done up. Drain plugs are in. Oil pan drain plugs in because I changed the oil when you weren't looking. I want to watch this back. I had this unhooked unnecessarily. It is hooked back up. All of these are back in place. Battery is good. We're going to hook the battery back up. Then the air intake. Then we'll go at a bumper. Oh yeah, put the oil cover on. Should probably do that too. Dipstick air intake, because this piece that mounts down there that I'd popped out, and then I plugged this to keep, rodents out of it. You don't have weird stuff in your garage, do you? Move this, keep it away from the battery so we don't make a fire. Who needs it? And then this pops in right there. These lay right here and they fasten in with the little push rivets. I didn't show you taking that out because it didn't matter at the time. Now battery, where'd it go? Tucked it in there too good. And plastics. Fire. Well, she's buttoned back up. The wheels are back on. I'm gonna put the hubcaps on. I'm gonna spray some degreaser down in there, get rid of the leftover oil. Even patched part of that door up a little bit with some old body screws and 2-pound sledge and some old roofing nails, because that was a job. Listen, I know I need a new door, but if I had new door money, I probably wouldn't be working on a 2013 Rogue in a dirt floor garage. It's probably true. So it'll get a new door someday, maybe. After the kids are grown and fed and out of the house. You know how it is. It's fine. Listen, this is not a how-to video. You clearly have seen that. But if you need a transmission cooler, you've seen where they go, what they look like. Not so much how to do it, but the headache involved. So now you know. If it helped you, there's a red button. My kids tell me, if enough people hit that, I can buy a coffee or two someday. And as it turns out, I was able to buy my first coffee, courtesy of YouTube, this year. So there you go.